It must be nice.
That was back in my romantic years. So yeah, man, it was.
Must be nice too. It must be nice, huh? You don't talk about the AOU.
AOU.
What about the AOU?
On that CD player.
You just left that out. AOU. Like you was supposed to say it.
I was a few different places, but anyway, you don't even know. You don't even know. That was an interesting way to title a song.
Oh yeah, that's what's his name?
Rocco.
Yeah. That came out around college time, I think.
Mr. Omelette. Omelette them pigeons. Omelette them. He made that album called Food, and every song was. I know I talked to you about it before, but it's so.
You probably have. I don't recall the album though.
It's such a. It wasn't like an actual. It was more like a mixtape. It was a mixtape.
I don't. Listen, it just made me think about like because I was talking with somebody I can't remember. It might have been Veronica, I don't know. But I was just talking about how like most of the songs that I save that I listen to on a regular basis, like there's a lot of artists that I have songs in my library that I listen to, but I've never listened to an album of theirs.
Yep.
Like I have a lot of Bryson Tiller songs saved, but I've never listened to a complete Bryson Tiller album.
I was going to ask, is that like the newer artists? Because it's even older?
Yeah.
Because I don't, I can't pinpoint at what point I stopped listening to full albums, but it was definitely newer. Probably when I took that break from music and TV and all that stuff.
It could be. Well, the thing about it is like, it's not that I've stopped listening to full albums, because I have full albums that I've listened to. Like I just listened to one the other day from this guy named Big X the Plug. Like I've listened to full albums, like I still do it, but like probably 80% of the music that I save, I don't like the El DeBarge song.
A new one? Okay,
I was gonna say the old one. I listen like it's the most. Well, I say the most common one they made, but
I know what you're talking
I can't think of it.
I can't think of the name either.
But that song.
I know they did the Last Dragon song. I think Rhythm of the Night. But I know that's not what you're talking about.
It's like I like that. I like something. That song. I have it saved in my library. I have no idea what's on the rest of the album.
Yep. You should go listen back to Zap. Zap has like 4 or 5 songs per album.
No. I'm good. I tried. Like, here's the issue. Because I had this thought the other day, and I was like, there's a lot of people I don't listen to. Like, I love the song "Welcome Back" from Mace. I was like, let me go listen to that Mace album. So it starts off, "Welcome Back." Cool. Yeah, nice album. Breathe, Stretch.
I was
like, okay, all right.
Okay.
Downhill.
I was gonna say you weren't feeling Breathe, Stretch, but I guess you did. Breathe, Stretch, Shake, let it go.
Okay, I love "Welcome Back."
Yeah.
So to me, the album starts off at like a 10.
Yep.
"Breathe, Stretch," it drops to like a 6.
It's serviceable. It'll do.
I can listen to it. There's some other 3s and 4s in there, but for the most part, it's just downhill.
Yeah, Mace, I won't say it was disappointing. Obviously, he had a really good, album. I think maybe 2. His second album obviously wasn't as good as his first one, but
I went back to before that. I don't know what album you're talking about, James.
So I think Mace World was the one that was the most popular, and I can't think of what the second one is. But the Welcome Back Cotter, that's the one you're talking about. Anyway, I know it's came from a show.
I did, because that's the sample it comes from. Yeah. I don't know. I listened to that one, and I went to the album before that one. I didn't get past the second track. Because I at least listened to after Breathe, Stretch on that album. The other one before that, I was like,
I know he signed to G Unit. I don't know if he made an album with them, so I wonder if he did make an album, if that's the one you're talking about. Because I don't know anybody that knew anything that Mace did when he was with G Unit.
Listen, man. I don't know.
Murder Mace.
Is that what it is for real?
I know at some point he started being called, you know how Diddy changes his name at some point. He wants to be called Brother Love, but yeah, Murder Mace was what he was going by, I think, when he was with G Unit. Maybe because Mace, like by itself, was, I don't want to say owned by Diddy, but how that can go.
It was Harlem World.
Oh, okay. So no, that was I think the second album that I'm thinking of. The one that yeah.
I didn't like it.
Okay, all right. So maybe his first one was just called Mace, because I'm thinking I think I combined the first two. So Mace World, so Harlem World, and then Mace was probably just the name of his first one.
The first one was Double Up. Or at least that's what it's. I mean, it has Mace at the top, but it's labeled as Double Up.
Interesting. So what's that one?
But Harlem World, it shows Harlem World coming at 96, and then Double Up 98, and then Welcome Back in 05.
So Harlem World was the first one, and Double Up is the one that I'm talking about. I had it completely wrong.
I mean, according to this, I don't know, but
so Harlem World is the one that has tell me what you want from me. Take a look at what you see. Let me know if this right with Total.
Yeah, What You Want, yeah.
Yeah. So that's his classic album, and you weren't feeling it.
Nope.
What about Double Up? Did you listen?
I didn't get to Double Up.
That's the one I know. I was like, no, I'm skipping this. So make sure you don't fell off.
Can I give you a hot take?
Go for it.
Well, it's not really a hot take, but like, it's an interesting thought.
Okay.
So, you know how there's the whole thing of like, there's the whole conversation of being able to separate the artist from the lifestyle of that, like the person. Mm-hmm. So like, with Bill Cosby, all the stuff that he went to jail for, but people still hold the Cosby Show such a high regard, right?
I think R. Kelly is an amazing artist.
Yeah, even though he can't read. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. I was listening to my library the other day, and the Flavor in Your Ear remix came on. And at the beginning, all I heard was Bad Boys. And I was like, my first immediate reaction was like, But then I was like, oh, that's Diddy.
I swear, every single song that I listen to in Diddy's own, and I'd be like, hey, is he supposed to be canceled?
I don't know, man.
Shake Your Tail Feathers. What was another one? I was just listening to one with Maury in the car. And I was like, I kind of sighed at her to look what her reaction would be.
Hey man, I still listen. Like you said, like to your point, I still got some R. Kelly songs that I listen to, but R. Kelly is also in that box of, like I said earlier, I don't think I've listened to a lot of full albums from him.
Back in my romance, so I listened to a lot of his early.
When I take that back, I lied. I did.
I listened to a lot of his early, so 12 Play, R, TP2. I listened to all those because I was like, all right, give me this bedroom song. What's a good bedroom song here? What's a good bedroom song there?
Yeah. I will say, in a grand scheme of things, as far as like people being canceled, like I use the example of Bill Cosby, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, he did what he did, or didn't do how, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The court said he did it.
I think a lot of women would say.
Well, but I'm saying, like,
I know what you mean.
So, according to he did it, right? We watch the Cosby Show. It's easy for me to not think about that when I watch the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
But with R. Kelly, because of what he was arrested for, it's like when I listen to R. Kelly's song, it's hard. It's hard not to think about that.
Yeah.
Because his songs are so sexual, it's hard not to think about kids underage.
When it first came out, I was thinking, I wasn't like looking for it, but then like I'd be listening to a song and I'd be like, wait a minute. I wonder if he's talking about a little girl in this. I wasn't looking for it, but then sometimes it just like popped in my head.
For me, it's not even the content of the song. It's just the fact that it's a sexual song, and I think about he was arrested for sexual stuff with people that were his age. I'm just like, next, I can't listen to this. But with Bill Cosby, like he was arrested for what he did. I'm just like, which is horrible, but at the same time, boy, that Rudy. Like I just watched a clip from the Cosby Show today, and I was like, man, it was a great show. Dang.
I'm glad. I want to say that I didn't watch much, TV. I watched a lot of TV, but I missed the Cosby Show train, and so I could definitely. I don't feel any way. Obviously, whatever Cosby did, accused of doing, is very bad, but it doesn't affect me as much because I didn't really watch anything that he was.
Yeah, you weren't tapped into that nostalgia of the Cosby Show. Yeah, no, I get that. I guess the equivalent for you would be like. Not to make you feel a certain type
Go
of
for
way.
it.
But let's say you found out the creator of Dragon Ball Z did some stuff. That would be like I guess that's the only equivalent I can think of for the Cosby Show for us. Yeah. Because the Cosby Show is so ingrained, like for people like me, it's so ingrained in our childhood. Yeah. Like Dragon Ball Z is so a part of who you are. Yeah. Imagine finding out he did what Cosby did.
I would definitely. I wouldn't give him a pass, but I mean, I'm still watching Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, I mean I get it. Like I said, I completely understand. I don't know, man. It's just something I thought about.
Man, they showed you separate Chris Brown what he did and his music, and that man's still going.
Oh yeah. Listen, man. Sometimes I think about how he really did move past that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure. I am probably 1,000% sure there's some people who still don't like him because of it.
Right.
But as far as like the grand scheme of the world and the culture and the industry, he's still out here dancing, man.
Paying him $5,000 to take pictures with him.
I'm about to say they line it up.
But you know who is really doing well off their controversy? That dang Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, but is it controversial though?
I mean, the things. Sure, he got indicted. I don't even
Spoiler
know
alert,
what's going on.
He is controversial.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his. But the Supreme Court, 3 of the people that he got hired on, just ruled that he's immune from whatever issues that he. So I mean, he's.
Oh yeah.
And now anyway we can that's politics. Even though I want to ask about
You know what I have to ask you though, James.
Okay, go for it.
When it comes to politics,
Go for it.
how do you feel talking about politics when you don't vote? Because you said this on the show multiple times that you don't vote. So how do you feel to talk about how does it feel having thoughts and opinions about the politics?
Yeah.
You yourself are not a part of the.
You just brush it off, don't say anything. But I do feel that I should have. I don't even know if I'm registered to vote. Like, there's things that I've done, and people are like, "Oh yeah, so since you're registered, but I didn't do anything, so I don't know if I am." But I did try to recently get registered, and you have to register before 15 days before the election day. So I don't think I am, but I did change my mind just based on some things. I know somebody who was working under Trump during his term has come out and said that he.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
I took it a whole different way. I took it as you personally knew somebody that worked. I'm about to say, what? You knew somebody? I was surprised. I was like, I ain't never heard about this, James.
I mean, I know people.
I didn't say you don't. I'm just saying I never heard. I was more so surprised I hadn't heard about it. I was like, what? You didn't tell me? Oh, man.
And the fact that he said things, and some people said that he wants to be a dictator. I don't know how realistic these things are, but if somebody has the opportunity, I mean, I don't think that we should give them the opportunity.
I don't know, James. I mean, like, I do get the point of you don't want to give him just absolute power, but at the same time, there is the small voice in my brain that's like, sometimes there's not much you can do to stop people.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's like me giving up, because obviously I want to encourage people to do whatever, to vote whatever, but like, and this is a whole nother conversation. But like, sometimes I just think about like people who are powerful. Sometimes it's hard to stop them.
I'm a prepper at heart, so I do think about the extremes that things can go. So, it's already been said that or I don't know how true it is, but it's been mentioned that he has thought about using military to crush or something about his enemy, something like that. So how realistic, just the most extreme is, ratify the Constitution, do whatever. There's an article that came out said that Nevada and California is trying to change wording so that slaves. What does that say? It says something like indentured servitude or something like that is okay if a person is in jail, and they want to change it so that if the person in jail is taken out. So it just seems like little things here and there, and I just don't want to get to the point where it's like, hey, internment camps or it don't seem like it can get to that point, but I mean, so many things go on in this world.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And does any of us have, the means, not even just the funds, but a way to, Just go to Africa, go to Mexico. I don't know if anybody wants to go to Mexico, but Canada. If it was to change like that overnight.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's you never know what'll happen. Because I mean, I never thought I would see, like 30 plus thousands of mayonnaise jars climbing walls at DC.
Oh, okay. I was thinking literally. Oh my goodness.
White people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so many things. I never thought that I'd see war in my lifetime. The pandemic was a big shock. So many things.
But have you really saw war though?
So not in person, but the war on terror. I was in high school, and then we were just sitting there looking at the screen, and you can see rockets and all this gunfire and all this stuff, and then of course you saw when Russia invaded. I don't think we saw. At least I didn't see anything about Crimea, but Ukraine. I remember I saw a vehicle full of people that was driving, and a tank just ran them over.
I that's crazy, by the way. But like, I guess the reason what I'm asking more so is because it's like, yeah, you've seen video captured stuff, but like, unlike certain third world countries, like you've never actually seen war. Like the closest thing we probably come to war is like gang shootouts or police shootouts and stuff, or like crazy people shooting up like like the dude in Vegas or whatever, stuff like that. Like that's probably the closest we've seen.
The thing is that war coming from another country to us would be different, but this kind of war is going to be here. Civil war. I don't know if you want to call it that, but
yeah,
race war, whatever you want to call it. It would be here, and that's more to me realistic than. I don't want to say realistic because I mean I've talked to some people and like, man, that's not going to happen. The military, blah blah blah. They'll call it. Yeah, but if it just happened to be around the corner from you, like sure, if you're like in a 5, 6, 7 states over, dang, that's unfortunate. But if it's around your corner, that's different.
Have you seen the movie Civil War?
I have been intentionally avoiding that movie. No.
Okay. I haven't seen it either, but I just know that I feel like that's kind of sort of what you're talking about. The other movie that came to mind was that made me really think about what you're talking about is I think it was like The Purge Anarchy.
The Final Purge.
The Final Purge. Yep. Yeah. Because it's pretty much like states warring against each other and stuff like that.
Just trying to lead, trying to get by, and that's one, we would be up against people who have probably been preparing for this for a while. People who have a stockpile of guns, stockpile of ammunition.
Oh yeah, of course.
But anyway.
All I know is if I go, I'm gonna feed a lot of people. That's all I know.
What?
A lot of meat on this bone.
Yeah.
Just saying, James. Times is hard. Grocery stores are empty. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not eating people.
I didn't say you would. I'm just saying, tell me I'm wrong, man.
I wish I had a lot of money. I am a prepper. I would have some underground stuff.
There's a dude at our job who's well, I haven't talked to him personally, but I was told by another coworker that he's prepared for a lot of stuff. Well, I'm not gonna say this I'm not gonna say what on camera because I don't want to put but let's just say he's prepared for stuff. So I've heard that. So he's also a weird kind of guy.
Unfortunately, people who are preppers or prepared, are deemed weird.
He's weirder than you, James.
Okay.
You're like trying to figure out how to say this. You're like a fun kind of weird.
Endearing, I guess.
Yeah, because like you're analytical. You like superhero movies. Like movies in general. Like you like board games. Like you're a fun guy. He's the type of guy like I could have maybe it's because I know you too. But like he's the type of guy like you have a conversation with him just like I don't know what I'm doing here.
Have you ever thought about what somebody's intestines would look like if they? No, not okay. All right, I'll keep it to myself.
Like we were out cutting the road one day, and like I was standing behind the saw, and so he just walks up because we had to go cut a road for them. So he just walks up, he's just like, "Yeah, look at that sexy cable configuration. I was just like,
Yep. So
Okay.
if I see where you're going, sir. If you would have put it, even though I don't know how he put it, but if it was,
he said it just like that. Those are the exact words.
Put it a different way, just
Tone
like,
and everything.
like the guy I work with, he would say something along, but it would not be that way.
Like he was like, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, James.
Okay. All right.
Hey man, he's like I give you another interaction we had. So you know where I sit, right? So I sit at the table. So I got up, because that's just, I guess it's like pretty much kind of like my office or my desk, so to speak, or just my area. Yeah. Right. So I get up, I go to the bathroom, and so they usually come in those come in like a little bit later. So I go to the bathroom, take my my morning paperwork, do my morning paperwork.
Yep.
I come back, he was sitting in my chair. Yep. And so I was like, hey man, I need to get right there. He was just like, this chair right here? I was like, yeah, the chair right there. The one I'm sitting in? So yeah, that one right there. So he was like, all right. So he was like, all right. So he gets up. He's like, all right. I was like, appreciate it, man. He's like, all right. And he just gives me a hug. I was like, what is going on right now? Like, not like a full-on embrace hug, but just like a, hey.
Nope. That's still okay.
You see what I'm saying, James? You see what I'm saying? Weird.
I was not expecting that.
Weird.
I mean, as a joke, if it were me, I would have got up, like once you said I'm gonna get that chair, and I would get up like, all right, can I get that chair? Just to kind of.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Fun weird, James.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Weird. He's just weird.
Yeah, I feel for you, man.
He's also like, I mean, we don't have to spend the whole time talking about it. But like, he's also like, I could tell he's like into certain stuff because like he was trying to sell, like he had like a 3D printer he was trying to sell or whatever. He was like, oh man, what's wrong with it? He's like, it doesn't have the proper data. It was just C75. I checked out. I was just like, yep. So it's for sale. Cool. I don't need it. All right. That's all I heard from the conversation.
I didn't need it before. I definitely don't need it now.
I got what I needed to hear. Cool. I gotta go do something over here.
When 3D printing first came out, like it was a big thing, the people were, I hate to say this, but they were kind of weird about it. And it was like, man, I got a 3D printer. I be doing this. I be doing that. I'm like, okay. I mean, now it's a little bit, more acceptable.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like I always heard about 3D printing and I was just like, it seems cool. But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't find it truly fascinating until I watched Jordan do it when he was 3D printing like the little chess pieces and stuff. Like to see it in action, I was like, that's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna say I was gonna go out and buy one, but it was neat to see.
Just I guess it just all depends on. Well, yeah, just like seeing. Yep, I agree.
Let me ask you this question. Okay, so speaking of 3D printing, right? If you had to invent something, right, like that could actually be built, because I feel like I'm not gonna say I feel like 3D printing at that time was probably ahead of its time, or whatever, or maybe it is ahead of. I don't know, but like I feel like 3D printing is like the future to a certain degree. Especially when you think about like them, you read articles about like them 3D printing. Like organs and stuff like that sometimes. That's all. That's what I say. It's a world that's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But if you had to invent something that like is practical yet, I ain't gonna say futuristic, but just more so like it sounds plausible outside of like I want to develop time machines to go, to travel portals back and forth.
If somebody was to develop time machines, would that be something that you would give to the public? I think that's a disaster waiting to happen.
I think in all honesty, I think they would give it to the public, but like with most technology, it would be the time travel that they give to the public is going to be a dialed down version of the one they have.
Yep, very regulated too.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what most technology we have is like. I feel like the government has already had some version of it or better. And it's like, oh, we moved on, so hey, here's flat screens.
Yep.
So
I just think some technology just like was very ahead of its time. It's like I don't think coming from this to that was that much of a believable jump.
Yeah, I get that. Like, give me an example.
All right, so I want to say TVs. Like it's coming from. Of course, I wasn't alive during that time, but just thinking about like not even having a TV. But then I do like as I'm talking like TVs, the way we have them now weren't the way they were back then. So I guess
Not at all.
it's just like thinking about what a TV is. You put metal on top of plastic, and then you get an image and words on TV. And somebody broke it down as it's just like pixels, light. So that makes sense. But at the same time, that's the part I don't get. Like if I was to take this and put it on top of that, how does that equal a picture?
Well, you know who explained it best?
Okay.
Willy Wonka, when they did the Wonka vision in the movie. There's a picture that they shoot, and when they shoot the picture, it gets broken out into particles that float into the air, and it floats to the TV, and it's put back together, and it forms a picture that you watch.
Yes. So that's the kind of, just...
That's it. That's how they explained it in the movie. Even then, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you say, like, you tell somebody how something works in layman terms. Like, if I didn't understand anything.
What made it so funny is like in the movie, they took the picture or they recorded the video, and then they showed the particles in the air floating. I was like, "Man, come on, man." If that's the case, I would walk outside and see particles everywhere.
Right.
Oh man, somebody's watching ESPN.
Yeah. Like.
Oh, I got something to tell you, but go ahead. What's your invention?
All right. So mine is a little personal.
Okay.
I'm always hot.
All right.
And a very key source of heat is the sun. So what mine isn't that creative. I guess you could even argue that it actually exists, but a shade drone. So you just have maybe some kind of device attached to your arm, your neck, or something, and as you walk around, there is something that's up in the air that follows you, but is in between you and the sun.
So it's almost like in TV shows and cartoons where they got the cloud that follows people.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
With a shade.
Exactly.
I mean, that's neat. My only question would be like, well, I mean, never mind. I answer my own question. I could say like, what happens if you like go in places but you're inside? So that makes sense.
You can like deactivate it, put it in hover mode, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about like how does it block from the shade? But like you're in a building, so the building's gonna block the shade.
Yeah.
That's why I said I answered it. That's like don't even. It's okay.
What about you? What would you?
I don't know if this is a thing.
Okay.
Or not, but mine is personal as well. I feel like most inventions are to a certain degree personal.
Yeah.
But like, also, I say simple, but it's not simple. Like, okay, I'm a big guy.
Okay.
It's hard to find clothes sometimes.
Yep.
Like this shirt, for instance. It used to be a lot bigger. It used to fit a lot looser on me. Mm-hmm. What if because I gained weight or I grew or I lost weight, instead of me having to go buy more clothes, my clothes just adjusted to me.
I like that. Oh, I like that. That's good. Like that would be so. That's one of those inventions where initially it would be expensive, but as time goes on, it would get cheaper and cheaper. I like that.
Well, it depends. I feel like it depends on how you put it together. Because I feel like obviously your first thought is going to, and maybe this is just me. Mm-hmm. My first thought was like nanos and stuff, but that's because I watch a lot of nanos just whatever. But it could just be as simple as like. I don't know, but like some kind of fabric, a special fabric or whatever. But hey man. But at the same time, I feel like too, that would cripple the clothing industry.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, what they would lose in money. That would be more expensive than a regular shirt. Mm-hmm.
But if you bought if you have 5 shirts, right? a different shirt, or let's say 10, because you have different outfits for different things. And each one of those pieces of clothing adjusts to you or your body as your body changes. Do you really need to buy more?
That's very true. Maybe have 5. Yeah, that's true.
The only thing I can think would be like if for some reason, like you can call this a conspiracy or not, but how people talk about like stuff isn't built to last anymore.
Yep.
So it could be a thing where like after a while the whatever software wears out or whatever, so you got to get another one or you got to update it or whatever. I don't know.
So that's what I was thinking. Like I didn't know. Obviously, when you think technology, you do kind of think electronics, but technology isn't necessarily, mechanical electronics. So if you were to make it practical and just have it like be a kind of fabric, then it wouldn't have an update. So that's the way I was thinking updates, stuff like that. So I was like, don't go there, just leave it alone. But yeah, updates. Obviously, clothing that gets faded, so that would be another reason to get something new. And then, people have multiple shirts now. For what reason? So I was thinking that there would be.
Yeah.
And then if it is like people do activities and if all kind of things could cause the shirt to get damaged. So I mean there could be a reason to buy more.
Yeah, I mean of course you can also look at like let's say. I guess this is in the same vein as far as like adjusting to me, but like this shirt example, like oh man, I'm gonna go to the store and I'll get outside. Oh, it's cold. I can just turn into long sleeve if I need it to be.
Oh, you're definitely thinking nano. I like it.
Just a thought, man. You want one, don't you?
That's amazing. Like I don't even want to talk about my other one.
Oh, you had another one?
I do.
I want to hear it now.
So this one is all right. So I hope
they can't hear me gulping on the microphone.
I was trying to think of weapons that can be created that doesn't exist. Okay. And unfortunately, my mind was very constricted.
Limited.
Yeah. So I think what I came up with was something that was non-lethal. And so let's just say, this person was able to come up, let's say stealth, and he's hiding in the rafters and he's he sees like a gang, a drug deal going down. So he needs to get the guns out of everybody's hands. So he takes or has a gun that has two sides to it. So one of them is a receiver, the other one is a sender. So you send a receiver. I was thinking magnets, but magnets, I don't think you can really change you can't really make
like
a magnet.
The polars, whatever what they call it.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. So let's just say that you put the receiver up in the rafters and then you shoot every other gun. I know like if you hit something metal with something else, it's going to make a noise. But let's just say that it has coated with some kind of something soft. So you shoot every gun and then you flip a switch and then all the metal flies to the receiver. And it's not necessarily. It could be used in many different ways. So if you were attached to a person, I mean, you're probably able to ripping their skin off. But we don't need to go there. But the part where I was talking about, changing the magnet, let's just say it's not magnet, but if you were to put it in industrial uses. So let's say that you have something really big that you need to move. Instead of having a big old crane, you have this one building, you put this magnet kind of thing on there, and then you put it on this other block, and then you turn it on, it moves it, something like that.
I feel like, for the context of like moving something like heavy, sounds great. Because listen, I mean, I was always taught to work smarter, not harder. Now the gun thing, it sounds great. My only concern is, I feel like I saw something like that on Batman.
So I came up with this a long time ago. I can't say, so I know. Okay, I don't know about Batman, but I was thinking that, what's his name, Star-Lord threw the thing and then it like shoved all the people down. Oh, yeah. So it's something similar to that, even though it didn't really attach to another thing or person.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, it still sounds great. That's what the whole time I was listening to you. The whole time I was thinking, I was like, I feel like I've seen something like that. But I was searching my memory bank. The files was worth filing. And I was like, Batman.
It'd be great if you could just like had like a glove or something, and like if you were an industrial, I'd say, or you're moving, put it on wheels, and you were just like moving, and then it followed you. That would be more like remote control. Maybe it's been done.
Well, here's the thing, James. Even if it has been done, if I've learned anything from people, you can still create a variation of something and still I'm pretty sure, phones were around, cell phones were around before somebody was like, hey, let's make it touchscreen.
That's true.
Like, you just do a variation of it. And it changes it all together, makes it different.
I like your idea better.
the clothes that I did?
I do.
Oh, man. Hey, it is what it is. That just comes from a person who doesn't want to spend $30 on a t-shirt at Walmart. That's all that is.
I don't blame you.
That's all that is, James. It's hey man, I gotta do better.
I got a story to tell.
All right.
And I've called myself calm under pressure for, a long time. But I realized that maybe
I feel like this is a story about you not being calm under pressure.
No, I was very calm under pressure.
Okay. Oh.
But I think it may be because my fight or flight skills, or what is it called, fight or flight instinct, it's possibly not there.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued now. What's up?
So I was installing a security camera for somebody. Bang, bang, bang. Like maybe 50, 75 feet away. And then a car just like, it turns and it goes. It's like, oh shoot, I think I just, was nearby a drive-by. And
whoa, what?
This was maybe a couple days ago.
What? Okay, I'm listening.
So I'm sitting here, like I was on my phone because I was setting it up, and I'm just like, holy crap. So, whatever, they're going, in my head, I was like, I want to help if there's somebody over there.
No.
But yeah, we mind our own business.
Instinct, yes.
We mind our own business, so I left it alone. So I'm on my phone, doing my thing, and then all of a sudden there's a car loud. It's not, muffler wasn't loud or anything like that. It was so the car that drove away. I couldn't see it was dark, but the lights looked like it was a car. The vehicle that was behind me, driving real slow and was loud, I'm 99% sure it was a CRV.
Okay.
So in my head, they're two different vehicles.
All right.
So I'm on my phone. I hear this car creeping, and I look back. I see it's an SUV, CRV, which crossover, whatever. I'm like, all right. I'm not even thinking. Maybe they're just going to a house. They heard the gunshots. Maybe they're just taking it slow.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing my thing, and the car either slows down or it stops. I can't remember. I know it was a couple days ago, but my memory is pretty bad. So they stop like right in front of the house that I'm at. And I'm like, I turn and look just to see if the window's down, if there's a gun pointed out. Nothing. It's just sitting there. I'm like, they may be looking for witnesses.
Because I feel like you answered my question, but just you outside, right?
I am outside.
Okay, all right.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, James, you're not, you listen, are you stupid?
Because it sounds like you're probably like, in that moment, you're like 2 or 3 decisions away from a person being like, hey, can I help you?
I'm not that stupid.
I'm not saying you were, I'm just saying, but like in a different scenario, a different person in your situation would be like, hey, can I help you?
I know a lot of people back in Chicago. Boo.
See?
Yep.
No.
All right. So at that point, I was like, okay, all right, I need to. So I start walking to the back of my car just for protection if they start shooting, and then they don't like drive real fast, but they start pulling off. So I didn't think about it then, but I was thinking, after I got home, I was like, well, maybe they were either looking for the person that got shot or the person that was doing the shooting. Mm-hmm. Either way it go.
You just was standing there.
I shouldn't have been out. So at that point, I was like, damn this camera. I can come back.
I would have said that a long time ago. After the bang, bang, bang. that would have been in the store, James.
I don't think my fighter. I need to work on my fight or flight instinct.
It's crazy because like I give you a similar story. I don't know if you remember this, but this was back when I was renting a house on
Medeiros.
Yeah, Medeiros by the stadium, whatever, right? So I was having a game night because this is back when I was dating what's her name, and so I think she was there, and then like you were one of the first people to get there because I think I invited Carmen, and then Jason came over, right? So I had ordered some wings from Wings to Go, and so I was like, all right, man. I was like, I don't know if you remember this. And I was like, hey, I finna go pick up the wings because I had ordered them. I was like, I'm gonna pick them up. So I walk out, I give her the keys, I walk out the door. All I hear is, come outside, we can shoot it out. I was like, nah.
I don't remember.
No. I don't, because you didn't hear this part. I don't know if you heard this, because like you were inside. I had walked outside.
Gotcha.
And I was just like, my first thought was like, y'all don't need wings.
Right.
Y'all are hungry. Y'all not hungry. I mean, y'all already ate. I got plenty of water.
It ain't worth. Yep.
I got some crackers. Y'all should be good.
We can survive a few days on water if we need to.
I don't care if I already paid for them. Just take that. It's okay.
Medeiros is definitely one of those. So I don't, the projects here, even though the projects are projects.
Medeiros ain't really as bad as most people make it out to be, though.
Medeiros are the projects.
Medeiros.
So, okay.
At least where I was, it wasn't that bad. Now, the further you get into those off streets, whatever, maybe. But since I was on like that main strip, it wasn't really that bad.
Did they put up cameras like on the street where they can? Because I know in Chicago they have those like police cameras, the lights going.
I think it's some of the one like the blue light at the top of the pole. Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
Okay, so I know obviously if you're living there, you know better than I do. But all I know is like the story. So when I was working at Domino's, they said that this guy he like pulled up for some reason. He left his car running. And he went to the door and somebody took his car, and then I've heard people, getting shot over.
And I heard about it.
So I can't, you know better than I do. I don't know. I'm not saying those stories aren't true, but maybe like you said, it's just better. It's better than it gets a bad rap.
Well, I know because before I moved over there, it was rough because I had I heard stories on it. So it was rough before I got there, but like because I was talking to I think one of the neighbors or somebody. But so like before I moved, a lot of those people who were like involved in stuff, they either moved out or got kicked out. So all that kind of riffraff, as you would say, they kind of spread out to other places. So they weren't there anymore. However, it still wasn't the best area. Yeah. Like for instance, okay, so like I had, because I was renting a house from a lady, and she had like this little cheap utility room thing. Mm-hmm. It's probably about a little bit wider than my TV. It's just a little cheap. You just set it on the ground. Yeah. And it has like a lock to it, right? So she had some stuff that she left in there before I moved in. I had nothing in there. I didn't put anything in there. Because I'm working at DirecTV at the time. So I go to work, I come back from DirecTV, utility room's gone. The stuff that's in it is just laying on the ground. So they didn't unlock it, they just picked it up and took it.
Okay. All right.
But the thing about it was, I wasn't even pissed that they took it. One, because it's not mine. I was just pissed that you could have took the other stuff. Now I got to clean the stuff up. You just made a mess. So, that's what I was pissed about. So that's what I say. It's not bad, but.
So I know this is
it has issues.
Definitely not the same. I haven't had my car broken into. But let's just say, I take that back. Back when I had my Neon, the front two windows were power and the back worked. So I had took some people home, and he left my back window open. And I had a nice radio. And so my car was broken into, but the window wasn't broken. That's the part I'm talking about.
I got you.
So if you were at home and your car window got busted and they took your stuff, now I got to clean up glass. I know that's not the same. That's what I thought.
I've been there. Ain't tell you this story? This is back when we was in college, because we were getting ready to go home for the summer, I believe. This is back when Elijah was staying in those apartments off of Sparkman. They were pretty bad. You know, the apartment where he never turned the air on? Because he just liked it super hot. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. I don't know why he never turned the hair on. He just never turned the hair on. I don't know why.
So save money, college student.
I never thought about it. He just never turned the hair on, man. It was always hot. But like I stayed with him for like a couple of days before I went home. And so I was going to church in Birmingham at the time. And so me being stupid, I packed all my shoes in like this clear plastic bag. And I put them in the front seat. and I came back from church. It's just a big brick, just through my passenger window. It's just like you said, it's just glass.
Yep.
It's like, man,
All your shoes.
I gotta clean this up. I lost my shoes, and I gotta pay to get it fixed. It's just a lot, man.
People don't care.
I know, man. They don't care.
And then if you were to let me stop. When did you move this drink? Like
I moved it a while ago because you were talking about something.
and I was probably doing all this stuff.
No, because I took a swig when I was. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I hope they don't hear me gulping in the microphone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when I moved it.
Oh goodness.
I don't know. Good times though, man. Sometimes I miss that house. Sometimes I don't. I think I more so missed the cost of it because it was like a 3-bedroom house that was renting for like $450 a month.
Not only that, just to have a house or more room.
Oh yeah. But I said, cause you get it because you have a house too.
So a lady at church was saying, it was during Sunday school. She was like, yeah, everybody talks about how the economy is so bad, blah blah. She was like, I don't get it. I'm just doing just fine. I was like, now's not the time. I'm not gonna say anything. So of course after Sunday school, I was like, all right, let me talk to you. So listen.
Go ahead and call real quick. Let me holler at you.
You are an older person. I didn't say this, but when you bought your house, they're probably like 50 cents a month.
God, duh. What is it? Hold on. Okay, side note, James. I have to ask this.
Okay.
What is it with you and Veronica? Like, cause I don't know if you watched the episode, but like we were having a conversation about college, as far as like, is it worth going to college and stuff like that? Especially with how much it costs. And she was like, back in the day, people could afford to go to college because you could work a regular job because you get paid $2.84 an hour. I was like, what is it with y'all and these outrageous like 50 cents for a house?
I know. I was definitely joking. But no, so I didn't tell her this. I said, I had a house. I bought a house back in 2013, and I was paying $340-something. I refinanced that house. It went up to $500. I sold the house, and then I was like, if I was to buy a house now, so that house is $50,000 then.
Oh yeah, you paying.
The $50,000 houses now are $100,000. So minimum, my mortgage would be $800, $900.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, my wages, me getting my pay, has not gone up with that. That is why. And she was like, oh, what did she say? She said, yeah. She was like, oh yeah, if I was to sell my house, I couldn't buy enough. I was like, so then.
She said it because she still got the house.
I know, but I was like, we didn't even have to have this conversation because anyway.
Yeah, it's okay, man. I don't know, but yeah, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, James. Because me and Ryan had this conversation on our podcast too. Like, part of me is like, even now, I want a house, but then there's a small part of me that's like, I'm cool, man. I don't even know if I want a house now.
I think all of us are to the point where we don't even want the things that were commonplace back in the day. Like, people back then, I won't say main goal, but they stayed at one job for like 30, 40 years.
Oh yeah. We talked about that because like, listen, man. Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing. I don't even have issue with staying at the same job for 30 years. My issue with the people back then was, let's just use a Walmart example. They'd be at the job 40 years, and they'd be a cashier for 40 years.
Yep. No.
Like, if my thing is, if you're gonna be at a job 40 years, if you move up the ladder, you get better pay, different benefits, whatever, blah blah blah. But if you still 40 years later, that'll be $12.72.
Yep. You gotta have this coming from somebody who's lost ambition. But no, I hear you.
Listen, James. Speaking of losing ambition, I ain't think I was gonna go down this rabbit hole because I was finna. It was a couple stories I was gonna tell you, but I forgot already. Well, I didn't forget one of them.
Okay.
Remind me to tell you about the crackhead who washed my car. So,
okay.
Speaking of losing ambition, right? I was having a thought the other day, and I'm just like, because we live in the city we live in, right? I don't say we don't have to say it. I mean, we said it before. I don't care, but like, I was having a thought of like, I wonder how other people feel to live in a city that is considered to be like one of the most wealthiest cities in Alabama, and to still not have enough money to do things.
I mean, I think it's only going to get worse.
But it's like just so much. Because the thing about it is, there's so much money in this city. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's like so many jobs. Like there's a lot of jobs in this city to where like you can do nothing and make like 80 grand a year. But you know, like you got to find them. They're not just like out there. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to know people to know people. You got to look at the right things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just like, hey guys, who wants this $80,000 job? Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of jobs. There's a lot of money in the city. But like if you don't know whatever, where to look or who to talk to, sometimes you don't get it. And so now it's like you got the city that's booming. Like you said, everything is booming, everything is coming up, prices going up, all this kind of stuff. You still making the same thing you're making.
Yep.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling a certain type of way yesterday.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's and the one thing, and I know we've talked about this, I don't want to do is like go out there on a limb, switch careers, and then it don't work out.
That's the worst.
But it's scary money don't make no money.
The other side of the coin is so you got two sides, right? You got the one side where you go out there, it doesn't pan out, right? You got that. The other side of the coin is you get another job, making 2-3 times more what you're making, nice lifestyle, you can afford to do stuff, go trips, but your stress level goes way up.
Okay. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
That is very. So I have learned. Well, go ahead.
That's all I'm saying. Like that's like it's one side is like it doesn't pan out. The other side is it pans out. But now, like you got this money, but now you stress all the time.
I have learned that my capabilities aren't as what they used to be, and so it's like if I go out there. And surely, like, if I start a job, they're going to give me, like, hey, this is the extent of your job. So I can go in getting everything instead of, having a job. And then they just, like, and I'm guessing, like, every job is like that. So, like, you can go in there and then, like, maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, hey, now you got to do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But no,
How they ask you to do it, James?
Oh, yes.
You thought I was going to let that go? Yeah, that's why, like, I've been having this conversation with I've had it with you, and I've had it with myself multiple times. Like, the job I'm in now, obviously, yes, I want more money. I need more money just because, like you said, things are going up, lifestyle, whatever. But at the same time, it's kind of like I can always just go get another job. Well, I can't say always, but I could always go look for another job, getting more money. But now it's kind of like I give up the other pros that come with my job, is like the relaxed environment, the laid back, the
conveniences.
It's kind of like, but it's sometimes it feels like, yes, I'm in a great position, but it also feels like sometimes of like a trap, because it's kind of like I don't want to go anywhere, but at the same time, it's like, do I want to just stay here doing the same thing forever? And then to your earlier point, I feel like that's how people back in the day ended up at a factory working 30 years, because it's like, I got such a cushy job that I don't have to work hard, I get good money, I take care of my family. 30 years later, hey, congratulations, John, 30 years of service, coupon Applebee's. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I feel like that's how that happens. I don't know. I have another thought.
Is this a crackhead?
Okay. Are you going to tell us? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So when I was renting a house, right? So, like, there was a guy who, I say he was a crackhead. I don't really know if he was a crackhead. The only reason why I call him a crackhead is because I was paying him to wash my car, like $20-$30 to wash my car. And so he came over one day to wash the car, and I was just like, hey, man, it's too late. It's getting kind of dark. We'll do it another day. He's like, all right, it's okay. I'll be right back. So he comes back with a lamp like that, plugs it into my porch socket, like, cause that outlet on the porch, plugs it in and starts washing my car. Now, mind you, it wasn't like as dark as it is now. It's probably it's like where it's like the sun is starting to go down, but still like kind of like a orangish kind of. So it's not dark, but it's like it's getting there. I was like, where you get this house lamp from? to wash my car.
You gotta listen. That man, he
wanted that $20, man.
Grinding.
That's what I said. I ain't gonna say he's a crackhead, but he was doing crackhead stuff.
Yeah,
this is all I said.
Give you crackhead energy,
basically. But now the other thought I was gonna have was, and this might be a doozy, James.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure you've seen the whole like Tesla robots and stuff, and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, but like I feel like it's maybe a hot take.
Okay.
It's maybe something other people have thought before. I feel like while those things are great, like, well, to an extent, because obviously, movies, they tell you otherwise, but at the same time, there is some still advancement, whatever, It's still great for, whatever. I feel like to a certain degree, when it comes to certain technology, even though like it's a great thing to come up with, build all these new things, I feel like the more technology that is created, the wider the gap between the rich and the poor becomes.
That is very, very, yes, true.
Because yes, you came out with these Tesla robots, but how much are they going to cost? So then you get to a point where only the people who can afford them get them. So then they use them. And now you got all these other people because they're going to start taking jobs from some people. So now these people can't work, so they just get poor and poor.
I didn't think about that.
So it's like, it widens that gap.
I was going to use the Tesla cars as an example, but no, if you're taking people's jobs, you did make a good point about that. Because, when Tesla cars first came out, they were like $100,000, they were pretty expensive. But now you can get them for, 30, 20, they're as much as like a normal new car. But
I didn't know that.
If they take your job, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So probably what we need to do is it may be too late. You know what I want to do? I want to go back to college and go into law. But anyway, we need to get into a field that maintenance on these kind of things.
Oh, yeah. As much as you develop technology and all that kind of stuff, it's still going to be certain people that are just a necessity.
I don't know. An electronic engineer would be a wonderful job to have. I don't know where those people work. Probably, I know, obviously, that would be a wonderful job to have.
I get it, man. I get it. I don't know how long have we been going?
I don't know.
It's not bad, man. any last thing you want to talk about before we go?
Yes. So you were talking about the crackhead. So I remember back in high school, I was going to a store. I wish I could tell you what store it was, but they had a big parking lot. So it was probably one of those, big box, not a big box store, but, grocery store.
Yeah, like a chain or whatever.
Yeah. And there was a girl who was, she was selling something. And she had white around her lips.
The white around her lips? Okay.
Now, when I was real little, I used to have that too. I don't know what that caused that. I know it has something to do with Slav. I was considering it because that was a different time back then. I was thinking about it. It's like, James, don't do it. I had at least the wisdom.
You say no to yourself?
Yeah.
So just for clarification, you was considering paying her to do something?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure I was understanding. Got it.
I think that really just... Well, one, she didn't necessarily say that she was selling something. Like, it was like
it was like implied.
No, I meant like I don't know if it was candy or something. She was like selling.
Oh, I got.
She was actually out there for like an actual reason. But I was like, but why are your lips white? Like, I'm willing to buy you what you got if you
tell me more about this.
Exactly.
Chocolate.
But I was like, nope, just go.
Do you eat all chocolate? Did I ever tell you? I did my strippers. Well, I have a few stripper stories.
Sucking down chocolate like Daddy-O's. Yeah, I've heard some stripper stories.
What?
It's ludicrous, though.
What? You can't just throw stuff out there like that, James, and move past it. Okay. Yeah, you heard it.
Even your daddy knows that you're sucking down chocolate like Daddy-O's.
All right. So, this is one time I went to a strip club, and I don't gonna lie, I was a bit naive, right? So, because back in the day, one of my goals whenever I went to strip club, not like I went a whole lot, but one of my goals was to always get like a chick, like a stripper's number. And so like I remember one time I went, and so this chick I paid for a lap dance or whatever, and we was chatting it up or whatever. So we exchanged numbers. And so I hit her up. I was like, hey, like a day or two later. I was like, hey, what's up? What's going on here? She was like, oh, hey, whatever. So we chatting. How was your day? Blah, blah, blah. I was just like, oh, I guess she's had enough small talk. She was like, down to business. And she was like, that'll be $125 for this. I was like, whoa. I did not know. I'm coming in here thinking like we just gonna talk about our Saturday. Like, hey, did you have a good Saturday? Did you rest well? Like, I didn't know any of this was coming.
And my thing, I guess I did meet a stripper on Tinder, but she said she used to be a stripper. But it's like, unless you go to the strip clubs, you don't know who these people are. So you could be like, hey, she pretty. I want to cuff her, and she been selling it on the side.
Well, I feel like I have to speak up for any strippers that are watching. Not all of them sell.
That's true.
So you can't make that not every stripper sells booty.
That's what they say.
Okay. Right.
I know. I believe it, but I mean, I think I feel like more often than not, you would think that people have more morals than that. But if you're in a strip club, I don't know about your morals.
Somebody as the guy?
No, I'm saying like a woman. I would think that a woman would have morals that she wouldn't be selling
in a strip club.
Just period. But if she's at a strip club, then those morals that I'm thinking about are out the window.
It's called using what you got to get what you want.
Exactly. So using that coochie.
No, I'm talking about if you have a nice body.
Right.
Yeah.
But that can also be applied to using that coochie.
Oh yeah, of course. But I'm saying like, if she's at a strip club, just because she's working at a strip club, she ain't got morals. She's just like, hey, I have a nice body. People like to look at it. Give me the money. You mean to tell me, James, if you had the body of your dreams, you wouldn't flaunt it a little bit?
Well, okay. What do you mean?
You wouldn't be like, hey, man, I forgot to put on a shirt.
I was gonna say I'd be comfortable with going outside without a shirt on. Yeah.
You would, but I'm saying like you wouldn't do no thirst trap pictures online, or you wouldn't do no kind of flaunting.
No, because remember, nope.
Oh, because you got morals.
Yes.
Whatever, man. Whatever, James.
But this coming from the person who decided to make a fitness page, that would chronicle his journey. I think that may be why I haven't. On top of the fact that I'm not doing the fitness, because I really don't want to put me out there.
No, I get that. Because of the morals.
So I did have 3 random things. Okay. These are just short little, and then we can go. Skinny people who say they're foodies, people that say they're, big backs, whatever you want. Do you think they're lying?
No.
Because, I mean, obviously, I like food. And I'm trying not to talk about for other people. Because I remember that, we were at the movie theater. I said something that was about me and you. But I don't consider myself a foodie or somebody that's like, oh yeah, I'll eat you out of house and home or something like that. Yet you have this skinny person. I know about metabolisms, but I don't think you like food, but you're not throwing down like we are.
Well, okay, so here's what you have to understand, James.
And I'm sorry, I did just group you in.
No, it's okay. I talked about my shirt being small. I get it. So here's what you got to understand, James. When it comes to people just talking about themselves as foodies, generally a foodie is just a person who just enjoys food, just like trying different foods, variations. That doesn't pertain to how much they eat. Right,
and I knew that's the way that was going to come off. I can't remember, like there are people, like I'm sure you've met skinny girls that be like, yeah, I'm a fat skinny. Like that's the person.
Yeah, about that, because that's what I was going to say when you. But I feel like I had to say that. But like now, where I agree with you is the people who like, because we have people. I just got my job now. People who are like very small. Oh man, I'm so fat. Mm-hmm. Come on, bro.
And
get out of here.
And what's funny is that back in the day, I would have brushed it like but now it's like, no, I'm actually fat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now those are the people.
Yeah.
But but as far as like somebody being skinny and saying they're foodie, like I don't really care because like I said, foodie could just be like they don't eat a lot of food, but they just enjoy eating like, oh, I'm in Boston, so I'm trying all the Boston different foods that I can't eat. But like somebody being skinny and being like, look at me, I'm just so hideous and fat. What? I'll kick you down a flight of stairs. Right?
And that also brings me. Okay, I got two other things, but that made me think about something else. The women that be on social media like, yeah, I'm goofy, or I'm like this, blah 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 blah. But it's like when you see women in person, like they are never like the goofy as they say they are on social media.
I mean, I can get that. I mean, I don't have any personal like references to that, but I do see the videos that you're talking about though.
Just okay. So all right. So this is one that maybe I probably shouldn't say. Maybe I'm telling myself.
Hey man, after the last episode, save your piece that. Side note, I tried to post that clip of the giving birthday. Mm-hmm. I tried to post it on TikTok twice, and they kept removing the sound. Like, nope, can't do it. Sorry. I was like, oh.
That's crazy.
I don't know what happened.
All right. So, have you ever followed somebody on any social media?
Oh, I was about to say I follow people on the street all the time. I just walk. Go ahead.
Well, have you ever followed somebody on social media? And then,
hey, where you going?
you need some help. You need. And then days, whatever, weeks down the line, they pop up. You're like, why the heck did I follow you?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay,
so
I just want to make sure. Let me word it so I can understand it.
Yep.
So I get on social media, right? Mm-hmm. I see this person's profile. Oh, follow. Mm-hmm. Right, so hey, nice little profile. And then, like, let's say they pop up on my feed. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why did I start following you? Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. I feel like I've done that before. So it hasn't happened recently. I say that.
So there are two reasons, and I'm more leaning towards one of the other ones. But one reason would be like, you bring some kind of content mm-hmm. that I haven't seen before. And then I think maybe what happens is like I haven't seen them for a while, and then like they pop up and like, wait a minute, who are you? Why did I follow you? So that's one way. Mm-hmm. But then there are women.
I knew you was gonna go that option.
Mm-hmm, that you might find attractive and you follow mm-hmm. them, and then a couple of weeks down the line or something like that, they post something like, I'm not sure why I followed you, but we're going to unfollow you now. And I've let myself go, so I'm not one to talk. But I just want to know if anybody else have had that realization or.
When it comes to the side of following women because of the attractiveness, like for me, it's like kind of like this is gonna sound weird, mm-hmm. but for me, it's kind of like looking at fish in an aquarium.
Okay.
Or like museum at an art, or art at a museum. I'm sorry, I flipped it.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of look at it, because it's like, especially because with me being in a relationship, like I look at it. It's nice to look at, but like I just leave it at that.
Yeah, like I'm not. Yes.
Well, no, okay. Let me further explain. The reason why I say it that way is because like if I follow somebody and then they come back up, like I guess what I'm trying to say is like I don't have that second thought of like why I follow you. It's like, oh, okay, scroll, because at the end of the day, it's just art at the museum. So I'm not really giving too much thought of like why did I start following you? Like what's it's just like, oh, okay, next.
I think some of mine is like maybe there was one good picture that showed like some good angles, mm-hmm. and then feeds are more kind of realistic, I'll say, and it's like, oh, this is what I'm just gonna stop.
I get what you're saying. So you saw one good picture and you expected the others to look like that. Now you see the reality, it's just like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
unfollow.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got to be more realistic, James.
I know.
What's the third one?
I think I just decided not to talk. I don't remember. Oh, it's silly. So I was just thinking that one day back in the day, I was watching a video, and it was on some topic that I did not know about, and I reacted like, oh yeah. Then I put like an asterisk, like whispering. I was like, can somebody explain what's going on? And somebody actually replied, and they put asterisk whispering. So I actually whispered with somebody.
You had a whisper conversation?
In the comments. I thought that was, it obviously, but the fact that somebody played along, I thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool. Side note is, you just made me think about something. And I guess we can end it after this. I saw this video on TikTok of this lady, and she was talking about how like she watches pretty much any show or whatever with subtitles. So in subtitles they tell you, gory music or whatever. They give you a crinkling noise. Gives you all the words they say, even the extras in the background. But in some shows, especially in English shows, it'll be like
speaking Portuguese.
Yeah, it's like, but what are they saying? I want to know what they're saying.
That does piss me off. As some shows will actually tell you what they're saying.
Oh, it's like, no, translate. This is your job. I saw the video. I was like, I had never felt so seen. That and the other video, I think I sent it to you. There was a video where there's a guy in the kitchen who's like, he can't watch anything without subtitles.
Yep.
Because he was looking at, he turns away.
Oh, that was so good.
I was like, that is me.
So good.
I am him. What?
Rushing down to the store and we got some more history.
Why is that though? I don't know, James.
I will say the shows have gotten better at some time. Well, I say that. I think it really depends on your sound system. But when you're listening to people talk, and then all of a sudden the music comes in and it's just real loud. So you got to turn the volume down. But then when they start talking, it's so low, you got to turn the volume back up. And our shows have gotten better at that.
Yeah, but I've had that issue in a while. Especially the only time I used to have that issue back in the day was when I used to have like a lot of commercials. So like the show would be like real like ominous thriller show, like, oh, we found out that's James's twin. And it come to commercial. Have you ever had issues with warts?
And that's one thing I'm pissed off about, because I watch a lot of just people talking on YouTube. So it's like basketball stuff.
Yeah.
And for some reason they do not turn their volume be like at 50.
I don't know.
Turn your shit up, because then the ads come in and they be super loud. Anyway.
The only issue I've had with TV shows and movies I've obviously realized that has gotten better, and I don't know if maybe my hearing has enhanced. But like, I don't feel like people don't whisper anymore. I do have a lot of movies. People just used to whisper.
Yes.
What? Now I got to turn it up to 48. Just like, and then that goes back to increase the other issue, because now the rest of because some action scene comes on and now that's at 90.
Yep.
So you got to turn it down and they start talking again. It's like, hey, did you get that one thing? Oh.
That's why I would make TikTok videos about that, like the dramatic whispering. Like if you want to make something dramatic, either you whisper or you shake your head no. But she was just across the street.
I was watching these guys on YouTube. I think you probably watched the Real Rejects, and they was watching the Penguin show. The guy who's like he worked in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
There was something, because he was in like he played in Luke Cage. It was like when he came on the screen. It was, hey, I know that guy. He's the guy that talks softly and everything. Hey, yeah. Now I can't unhear it. Every time he comes on the screen, it's just like, he doesn't talk that loud. He never does.
He definitely had to come up though, from Alfred Woodard to.
Yeah, but I can't recall something I seen him and he talked at a normal volume. It's like, yeah, I just want what you want.
Come back to me, Sophia.
I want to experience your release through you. Like, why? What is he doing?
That's right. He's good with comic book stuff, so they don't keep. Oh, I just realized. So this man, like Mark Strong, the person who plays the Falcone, he's been in so many DC and Marvel. Yeah. Just like
also Kingsman.
Yeah. Like oh my God, he just gonna keep getting these jobs, and it's like none of them have been exceptional. Like what's the word? Critically acclaimed. Like he was Sinestro. He was,
Yeah.
Savannah from Shazam, and none of them had been that role.
I mean, he ate as the young folks would say, he ate that Falcone up.
Yeah, he did, like even though it wasn't 1-to-1, because John Turturro is
Yeah.
he's something.
Yeah.
But like I could believe that they were the same person.
Another side note, and I know we keep trying to
Yeah.
wrap it up. I heard a theory. Somebody pitched a theory. I don't know how you feel about this. Going back to the guy who whisper talks in the show. Was it like Julian Ross or something in the show?
Yeah, probably. Shades. That was his name in
Yeah, Shades. There's a theory that like he don't exist because it's like, have you ever seen him interact with anybody else?
I've had those kind of I haven't had that idea with him. That would be interesting.
Because even when he was in the room when she she came in and she killed her buddy before she killed her buddy, like he was in the room but nobody talked. You didn't see anybody talk to him. Like he was at the back of the room and all you saw was her staring at him, just like. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, but like nobody else talked to him.
So would she be going to a therapist's office and she's just in a room by herself, or is she at home and she's just imagining herself in a therapist's office?
According to the theory, like the show, everything that she's doing in the show, like she's at her house, it's just he's there, like she sees him, but nobody else talks to him. Like you don't see him interact with anybody else. Like even in the last episode when they got done doing whatever, and she was like, "Oh, buddy, I'll see you out." You never saw "Oh, buddy" come and see him out.
Yeah, but I was just, she at least went to his office once. So
That's what I'm saying. Like the theory is like that all still happened. Like she went to the office, but like now he's just just there.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I see. Oh,
like he's in the rooms that she's in, but only she sees him.
that's interesting. I do like that. That would be one hell of a revelation.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but. I honestly, I agree with the other theory that he's probably gonna end up being like some form of like, what's the doctor from Arkham?
Harley Quinn?
No, the crazy
Hugo Strange.
Yeah, I was about to say Hugo Boss. All right, guys. That's I'm gonna end it there. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Thank y'all for listening and watching. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram. You said it twice. YouTube. Oh my goodness.
You should have said Graham Insta. You can find me on Instagram at DA_Bear. BEAR 29.
You can find me on Instagram HAPPEE _.
Yeah. Take that.
HAPPEE _.
Yes. I have been getting a lot of like, I don't know if it's because of the podcast or the Instagram, but on my personal page, I have been getting like a lot of friend requests, but this like they're like obvious,
Yep.
Whatever,
Yep.
So
maybe that's the price of fame.
I mean, it ain't enough if you ask me, because I need my price to go up. If that's the price, I don't want the fame.
Because people, they complain about Instagram bots, so maybe that's how you get more and more followers. You accept these bots, and then you just let your following.
Yeah. And the next thing you know, you look at your credit report, somebody bought a house in Boca Raton.
Exactly that's what I'm like, nope.
Like, no. It's not going to happen.
All right. Oh. Did it.